What do you call a car with an aircraft engineer's brain, a race car's gearbox, and the social life of a tax auditor? The 1954 Daus, a German microcar so rare even Germany forgot about it. Ladies and gentlemen, and my friend Timmy, not every car is born to race. Some are born to rattle, to creak, and to confuse customs officers for the next 70 years. And some are built by a man who once flew a plane in 1914, decided the sky was overrated, and then invented a car that never legally touched a road. That, folks, is the story of the 1954 Daus. Before we dive into the nuts, bolts, and beautifully baffling engineering of this one-off wonder, a quick shout-out to our channel sponsors, because without them, Timmy would be trying to fuel this show with expired coupons and a half-charged power bank. Big thanks to everyone keeping the lights on and the sarcasm flowing. Now, buckle up, or rather gently slide into your seat with a bit of a squeak, because the Daus 1954 is not your average car. In fact, it's barely a car at all. Built in Hamburg by Otto Daus, a man who designed planes before my grandfather ever thought of growing a mustache, this thing was a one-off, hand-built experiment in what I call brave minimalism. Or as my neighbor Bob would say, clear evidence of post-war alien cooperation. The Daus was tiny. I mean really tiny, just 8 feet 10 inches long, 2,680 millimeters. That's shorter than the line at the DMV when it snows. The body was all steel, no fiberglass funny business here, and yet it was light enough to be considered a microcar, which, in post-war Europe, basically meant fits in your living room and runs on hope. Now, let's talk about the engine, and believe me, this thing deserves a toast. Not a powerful one, more like a gentle pat on the back. It had a single-cylinder, two-stroke ILO M200 engine with 197 cubic centimeters of displacement. It cranked out around 9.5 horsepower, 7 kilowatts, cooled entirely by air and an old-school thermosiphon system. That means no radiator, no water pump, just warm air and positive thinking. Top speed? A breathtaking 47 miles per hour, 75 kilometers per hour. That's assuming a strong tailwind and no hills. But what it lacked in speed, it made up for with one of the most absurdly clever transmissions of the decade, an electric preselector gearbox. 3 gears forward, 3 gears in reverse. That's 6 more gears than most people use correctly in a lifetime. I think this gearbox was meant for someone who knew how to fly, which makes sense considering Otto Daus's aviation past. Speaking of innovation, the entire rear-mounted engine module could be removed in under 16 minutes. Just in case you wanted to casually yank out your drivetrain at a picnic. And the front and rear suspension, each supported by a single transverse leaf spring. That's not just retro, that's borderline medieval. But what truly set the Daus apart, besides the fact that only one was ever made, was its road status. Or should I say, lack thereof. It never received a vehicle registration, never entered production, and spent its entire life as a rolling prototype. The Daus wasn't exactly roomy, powerful, or even market-ready, but it was bold. It said, hey, what if we built something weird, tiny, steel-bodied, and full of clever quirks, and then never sold it? That takes guts, or maybe just a very slow weekend. So what did it cost? Back in the 1950s? Absolutely nothing, because it was never sold. But in 2013, this lone wolf of the microcar world rolled onto the stage at RM Sotheby's and fetched an auction price of $32,200, which at the time was roughly 24,000 euros. Not bad for a car that technically never got out of beta testing. Ladies and gentlemen, the Daus 1954 may not have won any races, broken any speed records, or even legally driven on a road, but it made one hell of a statement. And in today's world of oversized SUVs and digital dashboards, that little steel nugget of rebellion feels oddly refreshing. We'll be back next time with more oddities, engines, and Timmy's next disaster. Probably involving moonshine, a paddle boat, and a misunderstanding of physics. See you soon on Cool Ideas, where history rolls, rattles, and occasionally stalls in the driveway.